And I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard rumors that Kmart now has a brain surgeon on their payroll. I mean, it's kind of obvious those cashiers got their lobotomy somewhere. You ever heard somebody say this? I think I'll make a quick stop here at Kmart. Not likely, no. Takes you 30 seconds to find what you want and the rest of your life to get through checkout. Now let me illustrate this for you very quickly. It's Saturday morning, you're off work, you're cleaning the apartment. You need one can of Comet for the bathroom, that's all you need. You run over to Kmart, you know you won't be in there long, so you park where it says no parking. You leave the motor running. You dummy. But sure enough, once you get in the store, it only takes you about 30 seconds to find what you want. You got your hand on this can of Comet, and you're so happy. You're almost bubbly. Store's not crowded. Matter of fact, you're the only one there. Now you get up there to pay for it. It's just you, one can of Comet, and the Kmart cashier. And you know what she's like. Sir, these are two for $1. And you just got one. Well, of course she's stumped. What a math problem. Customer assistance, register 1. You know how somber and sad the atmosphere can be when someone's passed away. Everybody kind of talks in whisper tones. And old people with a hearing aid, they talk too damn loud. And there's Grandpa, bless his heart, back there at the table trying to fix a sandwich. And next thing you hear is somebody going, "Who's the mustard?" It was embarrassing. Oh, by the way, y'all, a while ago when I said we didn't have any Jews in our family, we wouldn't mind having some. It just ain't worked out. Matter of fact, we'd like to have some, because they've got trust funds. I'll tell you something that's strange about the Jewish people, and I hope this don't sound anti-Semitic, but generally speaking, Jewish people keep all their appliances inside the house. Ain't that odd? Let me give you a little tip, too. You remember a few years ago when the tornado went downtown Nashville, Tennessee? It went right downtown. Tornadoes just don't go downtown. And to make sure that never happens where you live, here's what you need to do. On the outskirts of your city, put up a decoy trailer park. That'll be like cheese in a trap. Tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it. You've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, then you couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get out there is what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mud's like mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here, we put big wheels on something to get out and play it. I thought they'd run from it like, here come the mud. You know? Now, in case you all haven't noticed this so far, I'll point it out to you. I don't do any sexual or political humor, and I'll tell you why. I keep getting the two confused. Really, I was on this television show in New York some weeks ago, and they asked me, they said, what do you think about the Middle East position? Don't be getting ahead of me on these. I said, well, heck, I enjoyed it. But it hurt my wife's back. Do you ever think about what dumb things people say? Now, I don't mean dumb things that dumb people say. They're supposed to. Really, it's kind of like their job. I'm talking about the dumb things that intelligent, cultured, sophisticated people, like me and you. Y'all sitting there saying, us maybe. You know this television show, Knight Rider? The next time you're watching that show and there's other people in the room, somebody in the room, usually a college graduate, somebody will say, I'll bet you that's somebody else doing that voice. You feel like saying, boy, that education's paid off for you. But we know that we say, oh, it probably is. Probably like it's open for debate. You know? And remember when you was a little kid, how somebody that you loved a lot would say things out of ignorance that would embarrass you sometime? My mother would do that. Somebody remember back in high school when you had to diagram sentences? My mother was at a PTA meeting. She asked my teacher, she said, how's Junior doing? That was me. The teacher said, well, he's doing pretty good, but he's having trouble with his dangling participle. True story, my mother says, well, he can't have it. It's been that way since he was 3 years old. What happened was he got it caught in the spokes of his tricycle. Oh, it was off, went right over the handlebars. He just laid out there and hollered and hollered. See, when you're a small child, the adult language doesn't make any sense. My mother would come out on the porch and she'd say, if you fall out of that tree and break your leg, I'm going to whip your butt. And I'm thinking, what a cool woman. You said, Mama, who was that? That was Cecil. His daddy died today. Yeah, the way he tells it, and we always say that, the way he tells it, like he might be making this up. The way he tells it, his daddy had been outside cutting grass. Well, ever since they bought that riding mower, hell, he cut grass every damn day. He just got there and ride. Well, you know, they bought him that riding mower last summer after he cut off 3 toes on his right foot. That was him being damn bullheaded. You know the mower where it says keep hands and feet away from blade? He said, it's my damn mower. They can't tell me what to do. Well, anyway, listen. So Cecil and the other kids went in together, and they bought him this riding mower. I told them when they bought that mower, I said, look, that man's 82 years old. He don't need no damn 12 horsepower. But they wouldn't listen. Sears had that damn sale going on. Nothing down, no payments till April. They said, we'll just add that to what we already owe. Well, you know, listen, you know, when he turned 80, they took away his weed eater. He was chasing bumblebees with it. Well, you know, he wore, listen, remember, he wore those real thick bifocals, remember that? He wore bifocals. So when he would look up like that right there, look up, that bumblebee like a buzzard to him. And then, of course, when he would look down like that right there, look down, he was so proud. Trouble was, his wife didn't wear bifocals. Well, anyway, they get this big mower, and sure enough, he was riding that damn mower to the mall. Had a handicap sticker. We know he had that bad foot and everything. Cutting through people's yards. Everybody had one mowed strip. And they were pissed. Well, anyway, listen, he had no business cutting grass today. It was 98 degrees out there, and Cecil said, Daddy, you ought not cut grass today. You just cut it yesterday. He said, I know, but it might be raining tomorrow. Bless his heart, he thought cutting grass was just like a bowel movement. You ought to do it every day. Matter of fact, that's what he do, get up every morning and shit that mower. So they even This right here, folks, is the day that I learned the reality of how dangerous a plane can be. I learned this in the Bahamas. They have the planes that just go island to island, very short trip, like a 20-minute trip. And they actually look like crop dusters more than anything. They got one propeller. They only seat about 8 people, 10 at the most. And they have to know the weight of everything that goes on board the aircraft before the plane can take off. And I had never been through that before. And a guy coming to me with a clipboard in his hand, he said, "Sir, how much do you weigh?" I said, "Why do you need to know?" He said, "So we'll know how much fuel to put in." I said, "Fill it up." I'll buy, fill it up. I weigh 600 damn pounds, fill it up. Well, you hate to die in a plane crash because some fat woman lied about her weight. And hell, they'll do it too. Like, well, I just soon be dead. Just tell him how much I weigh. You know? It was only 12 years ago that they officially categorized obesity as a disease. It's official. Obesity is a disease. Fat people can't help it. It's just like polio. Maybe someday they'll find a cure. Nobody in this room really believes that obesity is a disease. I mean, come on. Where do you folks think I caught this? Got too close to a fat person. They sneezed, now I got it. And real big people are always short-winded. And they should be. See, I'm short-winded. I'm probably more short-winded than anybody in here tonight. What do you weigh right here? What do you weigh? What do you weigh? 150. You're saying 150? A grown man. Are you? Are you sick? You know that. What's your name? What's your first name? Huh? R-O-D. Rod. R-O-D. Are you retired or working? You're working. What kind of work you do? I know there's no heavy lifting. I know that. But what kind of work you do? A surgeon. A surgeon. Are you a doctor? Well, I bet here's a good line you can use with your fat patients. Have you tried this, Rod? Try this. Look, you need to tell them. Matter of fact, they'll get a kick out of it. Say, look, honey, let me put it this way. You need to lose what I weigh. And see what I'm saying? They might. And look, and don't misunderstand that. If you listen carefully, I never make fun of anyone for being overweight. That's part of my heritage. My whole family can carry their own shade with them. It was always about the food. That's Next thing you hear somebody going, who mustard? And you all know that this is true. Look, we respond to every tragedy in life with food. A covered dish. We'll knock on somebody's front door and go, sorry to hear about your son-in-law. Here's some baked beans. And by the way, and speaking of a covered dish, you ever notice how people will spend more time talking about the food and who brought which dish than they do the poor fellow who died? Here's this guy, he hasn't even been buried yet. But all the conversation is going like this. Well, I see Elizabeth brought that macaroni salad. I knew she'd do this. I guarantee you one thing, if it had been somebody on her side of the family, she'd have brought some kind of meat. When my cousin died, now we're talking about my side of the family, he's the one who drilled himself to death. Hey lady, this ain't funny. What happened was he had this high-powered Black & Decker drill, and he was going to put the screw back in his cowboy belt buckle. I told him, I said, I think I'll take that belt off first. He said, don't tell me how to use my drill. I said, okie dokie. He gets about halfway through and sneezes. Anyway, when he died, that being my side of the family, guess what she showed up with? 11 deviled eggs. Now, who in the world makes an odd number of deviled eggs? We think she ate one on the way over here. But here's the way the Baptists do it. The moment we hear someone has been admitted into the hospital, we go grocery shopping. When we hear they have been moved into intensive care, we start cooking. And if they should get better, we'll just freeze it. But I'll tell you this, on those rare occasions when the jackpot gets to $15 million, and in the Georgia Lotto, it's only happened 3 times in 3 years, but when it's $15 million, everybody I know has got a handful of tickets. And it's late Saturday evening, they're all sitting out on the front porch, and they start fantasizing and talking among themselves about what they're going to do with the money if they win. You ought to hear my kin people talk. I've got some dumb-ass cousins. Oh, he'll go, what would I do? Hell, I'll tell you what I'd do. $15 million. You damn right I know what I'd do. I put a new roof on this house. I'd go down to that lottery office on Monday, get somebody to take me down there. My car's broke. Get my check. Come back here, get out the yellow pages, turn to R, call me a roofing company. Tell them, hell, I didn't care what it cost. And I might go ahead and get that back porch screened in. And then they'll go, and if there's enough left, I'm like, maybe you ought to go to night school. I tell you what, you pay close attention and see if this right here for most of you out there tonight, see if this don't bring back some precious, fond childhood memories to you about your mother and that covered dish. You think back a long time ago now when you was like, oh, just yay big. It'd be late in the evening, early nighttime. Everybody's out on the front porch after supper, about half asleep. Pot roast to do that to you. Remember, those were the good old days in America where a mother forced the kids to overeat. Made them eat. All right, y'all don't eat all that pot roast. I ain't going to make another one. Well, hell. Do you remember this? Remember as a little kid, we'd all be sitting on the doorsteps, the kid would. All the grown folks could spend an hour discussing among themselves the last time it came a good rain. To a small kid, that never made no sense. But we couldn't say nothing back in those days. You couldn't back talk your folks. But they'd be sitting on the front porch, somebody go, boy, we sure could use a good rain. Hell, it ain't rained real good since that last Friday in May. Somebody's going, no, hell, this rained since then. No, I'll tell you how I know. They're Friday before Memorial Day. Memorial Day is last Monday in May. Friday before that, my car broke down on I-20. Had to walk 3 miles to the payphone. I got soaked. Last damn Friday in May. So I said, no, I'll tell you what. It rained the second Saturday in June. Reason you don't know, you was in jail that weekend. Then he said, well, that wasn't my fault. If y'all got a bondsman, I could have got out there on Friday. Then somebody else will say, well, anyway, we need rain. Well, yeah, I didn't say we didn't need no rain. And in our little hearts as children, we were sitting on the doorstep thinking to ourselves, who gives a right face when you're right? There's You know, if I could be serious for a moment. You know, you hear people say all the time that we Americans aren't as civilized as we used to be, not as humane as we once were. After all these years that have gone by, half the people blame that on Vietnam, the other half blame it on Watergate. I blame the whole situation on Colonel Sanders. And I know you're sitting there and you're saying, I hope he explains that. I will, that's my job. You realize before Colonel Sanders came along, the only thing that ate dinner out of a bucket was a hog? Now he's got everybody doing it. Let's say you go down to the Kentucky Fried Store. They're waiting on the man in front of you. He's about 5'8". He weighs 340 pounds. He can't hardly breathe. And I'm glad to see y'all find that funny. Yeah, man's gasping for air. Yeah, we'll laugh at that. You're my kind of people. Now, you know how they got the menu on the wall over the counter? All this man can do is breathe and point. Like, and the girl says, "Can I help you?" I feel so stupid doing this. At this point in the show every night, you know what thought goes through my mind? James, why don't you just go get a job? It's too late. You know, I could have been a forklift operator. I could. My dad was, and his dad before him. When I got out of high school, my dad could have got me on down there at the plant where he works, just like that. But did I take it? No. I want a bucket of chicken? And then the girl says something ridiculous like, how do you want that cooked? You want original, extra crispy, or what? Trust me, people, this man don't care. She could spit in there, he don't care. Give him a live chicken, he'll kill it. She's talking to a human being that's about to eat a bucket of food. And by the way, have you noticed that's one thing that all of us fat people have in common? We'll do anything in the world to lose weight except quit eating. We like to read books, join clubs. Matter of fact, we like to read a good diet book while we're eating a box of cookies. You know? And I've tried every fad diet that come along. Remember Dr. Stillman's water diet? You had to drink 14 glasses of water every 24 hours. I lost 2 pounds the first day. My bladder fell out. But I tell you what, I invented a diet. You fat people write this down, I don't mind. What you do before every meal, you drink a half a pint of Seagram 7. You're still hungry, but you can't find your mouth. You know, fat people will eat anywhere. I hate it when they eat in bed. It's nighttime, you take a shower, you crawl between the sheets, and there's tater chips in there.
But I tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it, you've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, then you couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get out there is what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mud's like mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here we put big wheels on something and get out and play it.
My father passed away a few months ago, 76 years old. Every time somebody that age passes on, I bet you think this too sometime, I do. I start to think whether we will ever see the likes of that generation again. And I sure do have my doubts. That generation of Americans, even though they were most uneducated of any of us, they had the most honor and dignity and self-respect and integrity and a thumbnail than the rest of the Americans got now in the whole damn body. So, you try to picture in your mind your mom and daddy or your grandmother or grandfather, and do you think how unheard of it would be for them to actually sit in the living room hoping that some local or federal official will help them take the gun away from their boy? Oh, God. They'd have smacked some kid. They'd have killed him himself. Now, I know it seems old-fashioned, but You know, you have to be reminded that that generation of Americans didn't raise crack addicts and drive-by shooters. They raised damn kids. So, you know, we got all these new words now that ain't working. Therapy, counseling. Yeah, my daddy took me to counseling, all right. How about this, bonding? Ain't that a new word? Bonded. It works like this. You're 35, your dad is 60. Have you bonded? Have you bonded? My father and I never bonded. We've posted bond for each other. Let me tell you guys something. And here's how you know whether you got a good relationship with your dad. Think back when you was like 16 or 17 and you was dating somebody you was wanting to impress, and you didn't want to drive your old piece of car on the date, so you kept begging your daddy to let you use his car. And you said, if you'll let me use your car, I won't drink. Liar, liar, liar. So he finally gives in and lets you use it. And you're almost home free. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You dropped her off somewhere. Said, I'll be back. I'll get this car home. But just before you get home, the cops pull you over, take you in for driving under the influence, and tow your daddy's car. You're scared to death. You know your daddy is going to whoop your ass. You know he is. You've never been as scared in your whole life. You dread calling him. But even though you dread it and you're scared, it never occurs to you to call anybody else but your daddy. You tell the guys he's fingerprinting you down there, well, hurry up, I need to call my daddy. He'll come and get me. And here's what happens. Next thing you know, the years always go by quicker than we would like for them to, and you're 35 or 36. You got a family of your own. It's late Friday evening. You've mowed the grass. You got a cold beer in your hand. You settle down to watch a ball game, and the phone rings. And it's your dad. And his ass is in jail. He just beat the out of the UPS man. He had told that driver once before, if you back on my wife's flower bed one more time. If that was a time when a man did what a man said. So the UPS truck backed over her buttercups. Your dad's in jail. But as they're processing the paperwork, he tells them, well, hurry up. Need to call my boy, and he'll come and get me. There's bonding for you right there.
Tell what? I don't. Huh? Um,
But I tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it. You've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, then you couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get, that's what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mud's like mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here, we put big wheels on something and get out and play it.
Speaking of sitting on the front porch, I came up with this theory a few months ago. There's been so much talk in recent years about the moral breakdown in American society, the family unit falling apart, and the violence among the small children. It used to be that way, and it's that way now. So why is that? And they've analyzed this thing to death. Here's what happened. We made a mistake in this country years ago when we quit building houses with front porches on them. When everybody had a front porch, it was all more civilized. Get there after supper, sit around, talk, sometimes just grunt. Like, ah, damn. I ain't gonna never eat cooked cabbage again. And remember how you used to wave? Everybody that drove by, you go. Somebody go, who was that? You go, hell, I don't know. Well, you waved. Well, I didn't want them to think we was uppity. And remember how you could gossip about everybody that drove down the highway? Somebody goes flying, you go, there goes that David Jackson, driving like a bat out of hell. Got a brand new car. How'd you get a new car? He ain't got no job. I'll bet you his daddy co-signed. He co-signs for all them kids. That's how come they didn't turn out to be worth a damn. Well, see, you can't do that no more. You know why? Ain't nobody got a porch. Everybody's got a damn deck. You can't raise a family out back on a deck. We need a porch like they had in Mayberry with Andy, Opie, and Barney out there. If they'd had a deck, Opie would be on drugs right now. And look at this thing. Look at this thing about neighborhood crime. We're all paralyzed by neighborhood crime. There's no neighborhood crime. When I was little, you know why? Everybody's out on that porch. And the American people are so brave this day. Here's how we conquer neighborhood crime. We all join the Neighborhood Watch program. Put that little plaque in our subdivision. This neighborhood part of Neighborhood Watch. Damn. Man, that's going to scare them off, ain't it? Some mass murderer head in your subdivision, see that plaque? Damn, they got a plaque! Here's how the Neighborhood Watch program works. Somebody goes, all right, it's your turn. This week it's your turn. You be on the lookout. If you see anybody strange in the subdivision, you get on the phone. You call everybody else. We'll be out back on the deck. You call us. Now, here's why there's no neighborhood crime when I was little. I remember being out on the front porch with my daddy and my little brother. Some guy would be walking down the road, and my dad would go, wonder who that man is walking down the road right there. My little brother said, I don't know, Daddy, I don't know him. My dad would go, he can walk down the road all he wants to. But he better not come in my damn yard. Well, see, you don't know that now. You know why? You're out back on the deck. The deck. You can't see nothing back there on that deck. And do you remember when the word porch used to be part of our vocabulary? Like somebody would say, you know, I had a glass of lemonade sitting somewhere. I bet you left that on the porch. Where'd I put that hammer? Look on the porch. Or somebody might say, what'd y'all do with that old refrigerator? We just sat on the front porch. You said, Mama, who was that? That was Cecil. His daddy died today. Yeah, the way he tells it, and we always say that, the way he tells it, like he might be making this up. The way he tells it, his daddy had been outside cutting grass. Well, ever since they bought that riding mower, hell, he cut grass every damn day. He just got there and ride. Well, you know, they bought him that riding mower last summer after he cut off 3 toes on his right foot. That was him being damn bullheaded. You know the mower where it says keep hands and feet away from blade? He said, it's my damn mower. They can't tell me what to do. Well, anyway, listen. So Cecil and the other kids went in together, and they bought him this riding mower. I told them when they bought that mower, I said, look, that man's 82 years old. He don't need no damn 12 horsepower. But they wouldn't listen. Sears had that damn sale going on. Nothing down, no payments till April. They said, we'll just add that to what we already owe. Well, you know, listen, you know, when he turned 80, they took away his weed eater. He was chasing bumblebees with it. Well, you know, he wore those real thick bifocals, remember that? He wore bifocals. So when he would look up like that right there, look up. That bumblebee like a buzzard to him. And then, of course, when he would look down like that right there, look down. He was so proud. Trouble was, his wife didn't wear bifocals. Well, anyway, they get this big mower, and sure enough, he was riding that damn mower to the mall. Had a handicap sticker. We know he had that bad foot and everything. Cutting through people's yards. Everybody had one mowed strip. And they were pissed. Well, anyway, listen, he had no business cutting grass today. It was 98 degrees out there, and Cecil said, Daddy, you ought not cut grass today. You just cut it yesterday. He said, I know, but it might be raining tomorrow. Bless his heart, he thought cutting grass was just like a bowel movement. You ought to do it every day. Matter of fact, that's what he'd do, get up every morning and shit that mower.
Oh.
But I tell you what, folks, at least in this part of the country, the Midwest, the Southeast, see, we have to deal with the very worst Mother Nature can throw at the human race. See, on the West Coast, California, they don't have tornadoes, and they don't have hurricanes. That's just on this coast. Tornadoes occur in the Midwest, the Southeast. New England, like Vermont, Rhode Island, they don't have tornadoes. You've heard the expression, it's biblical, and your mother has said it. You've heard it. God never gives us more, or puts more on us than we can handle. That's how come he sends that stuff to us. He would never send a tornado to damn California. Hell, then you couldn't deal with it. That's why all they get, that's what I call silly weather, limp-wristed weather. Like mud's like mud, it's damn mud. Where else in America would mud be a natural disaster? Down here, we put big wheels on something to get out and play it.
And I know, being average Americans, every day of your life, this thought goes through your mind at least once. Some mornings when you wake up, it's the first thought on your mind. And that is, wonder why anybody wants to be on Family Feud. Well, here's what I think. I keep visualizing some family out around Nebraska or Iowa, sitting around the dinner table one evening. The husband says, honey, you know what? They ought to be a way that we can let this whole country know our family's illiterate. Now, wait a minute. I know everybody here in Des Moines knows it already. I mean, coast to coast, just let them know we don't have a lick of sense. You know? So you end up watching them on the show. The lady introduces everybody. Now, Richard, I'd like for you to meet our handsome son, Eric. And that makes you sit up straight because you can see Eric's ugly. Eric's a senior at UCLA. He'll be graduating this year. And you're thinking Eric's going to do all right on this show. He's going to college. Now, later on in the program, it's Eric's turn to answer. And we all know what tough questions they have on Family Feud. Now, see, once again, in Mississippi, that line won't work. Down there, when I say, you know what tough questions they have on Family Feud, the whole audience is going, oh, yeah, boy. Anyway, the question for Eric is, name one of the states that begins with the letter K. And of course, Eric is stumped on this. But just before the buzzer sounds, he says Connecticut. Am I upset with Eric? No. It's that family of his. Good answer. Good answer.